Hello, my name's Kate Bullen, and today I'm going to be talking about how to develop products that sell using a customer focus group. And I'm also going to touch on why a product development plan is so important for our businesses. I'm talking about creating a focus group from customers, and this is because this is part of Customer Month here at Flourish. However, if you're just starting out and you don't have any customers yet, or if you are new and you only have a few customers, or you're not actually in direct contact with your customers, don't worry. I'll also be talking about how you can create a focus group using other people. A focus group can be an invaluable resource for you to help you plan and develop products that will sell, products that people will want to buy. And there's another benefit to a focus group, and that's that your focus group could well go on to become brand ambassadors for you, and that they will go out and help spread the message about you, your brand and your products, and become an unofficial sales force. So it's worth investing the time into developing a really good focus group. Customers are a great group of people to talk to about any new product ideas that you have. You know they already love what you do because they have bought maybe once, maybe twice. They could be seasoned customers of yours. So they know what you do. You're in touch with them via email or via social media or in some other way. So you have a relationship with them, and they're going to feel very connected to your business, and these are going to be ideal people to talk to about any new ideas that you have. They're going to be perfect people for you to reach out to and invite to be part of your focus group. If you're not quite sure what a focus group is, you may also know it under another name, for example, a user group or something. And it's a group of people that you have that you can bat ideas around with and who you can use for research purposes. For example, you can ask them questions about your business or your business development plans. You can ask them about new product ideas, new line ideas, how your pricing is, ideas for marketing, advertising. They are a group of people who know your business, they know your target market, they are your target market, and they will give you their honest feedback, which then you can take and you can build on, and it will help you run your business with more information, that you'll have a better informed mindset when you are creating new products and taking your business in new directions. So there's no better group of people to have in your focus group than your customers. And second to that would be a focus group based on your target market. Okay, so product development. What do we mean by product development, and what is your product development approach? Product development is when we have an idea for a product, and it's what happens between us having the idea for the product and that product appearing in our stores. And there's probably two extremes to this. There's what I call the accidental product. And this is where somebody has an idea, they make something, somebody says to them, oh, you could sell that, and the next thing you know, the product is born and it's in their stores, but no research has gone on behind it, and it's gone on really just based on gut feel. At the other end of the scale, there's a full-blown product development process, which includes researching the market, identifying the market need for a product, developing a product, fine-tuning the price point, testing the product, etc., 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 before taking it to market. And where are you on this, I wonder? Are you on the accidental product development side of things, so you have an idea and take it into store, or are you more on the fully developed product development plan side? I think that most people fall somewhere in between. I know that I do. Okay. So why do we plan new products? Planning new products thoroughly is something which is really is a really important thing to do. because it helps us to create the right product, which will appeal to your target markets and which will fill a need or a want at the right price. And if you can create a product that does these 4 things, then you are creating a product that will hopefully will sell. Now, planning a product is something that creative people are probably not particularly good at, and I think that one of the reasons for this is because we are creative people. We create what we sell, and we get so excited about it that once we've made something that we love, that we think that everyone else will, and that we rush straight out and do it. But if we took the time to sit down and plan it properly, it will help ultimately save time and money further down the line, because you're not going to have created a product that's just not going to sell, and it will save you the problems of having the wrong sort of product in your store. If you spend time developing your products and carrying out your research effectively first, you stand a much better chance of success. If you do the groundwork, if you check out the competition, research the market needs, fine-tune your costings and your prices, double down on your own target market and make sure your product's going to appeal, you're much more likely to have a product which is spot on as far as your market is concerned, rather than shooting from the hip and creating a product first and then trying to fit everything else into place afterwards. It's sort of like reverse planning. When we sell something, that we're meeting the customer's need or want, and therefore if you can anticipate this in the planning process, your road to selling the products is going to be much smoother. Sometimes people don't know specifically what they want or what they need, but they do know that they're having a problem, but they don't know how you're going to solve that problem. And it's by talking to customers and understanding the problems that they face that you will understand how your products will help them overcome these problems, and therefore identifying their needs. And problems or needs, they sound quite big things, don't they? But these don't need to be major life-changing events. I'm going to a wedding on Saturday. I need a new pair of earrings. So it's not, you don't need to think that a need is something that's going to change my life. It's actually just going to change perhaps just a few minutes in the day, or change the way I feel about myself at a particular moment in time. Product development, I think if you think of it, of the analogy of putting a round peg into a round hole. If you have researched your product and you have planned your product, then you know that you have developed a round peg that's going to fit into a round hole. If you haven't done this, you're in effect creating a round peg and you just don't know what shape hole that you're going to fit it into, and that you're just there afterwards trying to make it fit. It's just not an efficient way of working. Okay. Okay, so a customer focus group. So before we talk any more about a customer focus group, we assume a couple of things. We assume that you have permission to contact customers, or you can do so via social media or a blog. This is one of the reasons why having an email list is so important. If you have an email list and you have given your customers the opportunity to opt in and receive communication from you, it gives you so much flexibility with how you manage your relationship with your customers. You can contact them obviously about special offers and about new products, but you can also talk to them directly and invite them to be part of your focus group, or use this information in other ways. If you don't have permission to contact them via email, if they haven't opted in, then you're not going to be able to send them an email to invite them to become part of your focus group. Instead, you're going to have to contact them via social media, or if you have a blog, contact them, put out an invitation that way. If you are just starting out and you don't have any customers yet, then don't worry. You can substitute some family or friends here, but make sure that they are in your target market. This is really, really important, that you need people who are going to be in your focus group who are going to as closely reflect the people that you are going to be ultimately selling to as possible. There's probably not a lot in point in giving a hand crocheted lace trimmed handkerchief to your Marilyn Manson loving goth cousin and expect a sensible a sensible response that invite family and friends that are the closest to your target market when you're looking to create a focus group. A focus group based on your customers will be invaluable, but a focus group based on your target market will be equally useful. Their input when you're designing a new product should be worth its weight in gold, and that's because they know the things that they want to buy, the things that they would buy, and that they can give you feedback based on this. The size of the focus group will depend on you, your products and your market. If you have a high ticket product and a relatively small volume of sales, then the face of your focus group is going to be very different to someone who has a high turnover business with lots of low priced items. Part of your product development and part of working with your focus group might include sending out samples. So that will also affect the size of the focus group that you work with. I would say for an average handmade business, is there such a thing? I don't think so. But perhaps I would sort of say that a group of maybe half a dozen to a dozen people will be absolutely fine for most people, particularly if you're going to be sending out samples. You don't want a focus group that is so big that all the varying responses and things gets confusing. You want a focus group that you can sort of work with easily. So don't feel that you need to have a focus group of hundreds. Really, a focus group between sort of 6 and 12, I would say, would be fine for most of our businesses. When you are starting your focus group, you'll obviously need to recruit people from a list of volunteers. I would suggest that when you're starting a focus group, you put an invite onto your blog, onto social media, and get people to volunteer. These slides are out of order, aren't they? But I've made a note here that one thing to remember when you are starting a focus group is that if you're going to be sharing information perhaps about a new product or perhaps something that you may be applying for copyright or that you could be patenting, remember that you may need to get people to sign a confidentiality or non-disclosure agreement before they work with you in a focus group. When you are putting up your invitation, then it's important to be absolutely crystal clear what you want from people, so that they know exactly what it is that you are expecting and what it is that they will be required to do. It's much better to get this up front so that they know what's expected, rather than for it to happen afterwards and they say, "Oh, I'm just too busy to fill in these forms, or I'm just too busy to give you any feedback." This is very much a two-way relationship. You'll be asking for ideas and feedback, so it's important that they know that they should be giving you ideas for products that you don't currently sell. And this type of feedback is really valuable because it may give you ideas for products that you haven't even considered. And one of the benefits if customers are coming up with ideas for new products is you know that there is a need there, so you're part of the way towards creating a saleable product. They know what you do, they know what you can do, and therefore if they've come up with a suggestion for a new product, it's a great way to get it off the ground. Obviously, if one person has come up with an idea, you're not going to make a decision to create a whole product line based on feedback from one person. But if a few people start saying the same thing, then there could be the opportunity here for a new product. When you are asking for ideas and feedback, you want this to happen in a way that's convenient for both you and your customers. You don't want this to be an onerous task of having to go through emails and messages and all the other bits and pieces trying to find out sort of where bits of feedback relate to. And this is why something like a survey document, perhaps using Google Forms, would be a great way to do this. Google Forms is free. It's really easy to use. It's got a reasonable amount of customization, and you can put your different questions onto that, and it will be collated. The answers will be collated when they come in. So it makes life easy for people participating in your focus group, but it also makes life a little bit easier for you as well. So you'll be asking customers to come up with ideas and suggestions for new products, new ranges, new colours, new variations on what you are currently doing. But you might also, if you are developing, if you've already started developing new products, before you actually take them to store, you might want to send customers products for testing, and you will want information from them about their opinion of the products, and this is a really good way to make sure that your product is absolutely spot on before you take it to market. It's much better to find out the problems first rather than afterwards. And when you are giving the products or other things that you need to ask for feedback. And at some stage, you are very likely to be giving products to your focus group to test, and it's absolutely clear. You need to make it absolutely clear what you want to achieve. This is a crucial stage of your product development plan, and you want to ensure that you're getting the really valuable feedback from your testers. Otherwise, if you're not going to get really good feedback from them, you're just giving them a nice product as a present. So this is why your product testers, your focus group must be your target market, because if you're giving products for people to test who aren't in your target market, they're not going to give you good feedback. And it's also, this is another reason why it's absolutely vital that you need, when you're recruiting people to join your focus group, that they need to know that not only will they just be testing your products perhaps, but they will also be giving you really well thought out responses. Depending on what stage of the product development process you are at when you send out your sample, will depend on the feedback you want to get. If you're still in the early planning stages, you might want to get ideas for things like what price band someone thinks the product would fall into, or how they feel about the shape or the size, or something like that. If you've already completed, however, the first round of research, and you have decided on your prices, you've worked out your costs, you've decided your prices, you've prototyped your product, and you're really looking for people just to confirm your view of product, you will be sending out to your testers an example of the finished product, and this should include everything, including the packaging that it will be packaged in when it's a real live product, an example of your product description and the final price, so your focus group can let you know of any disconnects that they see there. For example, if you send it out in the packaging, and the packaging that you plan to send your final product out in, and your customer group think that it's not robust enough, or your product description didn't clearly explain the product, it enables you to get it right before you finally go to market. If you're sending out products for testing, I said that you need to be clear about what you want from them, and there may be times when you're actually giving your customers specific instructions. For example, if you sell vinyl decorated mugs, you might want someone to put it in the washing machine to see what happens, in the dishwasher, to see what happens, to test its robustness. So clearly state this when you send out the product if you want them to test anything specifically. Whatever type of feedback you're going to ask for, it's really important that you stress the type of feedback that you want, and this is why the forms is so useful. Otherwise, you might end up with unclear and woolly feedback, which really isn't going to help you. The whole point of using a focus group is to help you develop your products and to take out any of the guesswork when you're creating new products. So if you're getting feedback that's actually asking more questions than it's answering, then it's not very helpful. Don't just send out your products and ask people to tell you what they think. Write down your questions before you start. And when you are asking questions, you might want to consider giving people multiple choice questions. This is out of order as well. Be clear with the questions. So multiple choice. So, for example, how likely are you to buy this product? And that you might want to give them, I won't buy this product, I'm not very likely to buy this product. It's important to give an even number, so that, because people will be tempted to go with the average. So if you said, I'm never going to buy this product, I'm unlikely to buy this product, I don't know, I might buy this product, I definitely will buy this product, some people will actually head to the middle point, and that doesn't really give you any information. If you give them an equal number, they are either going to fall on the positive side or the negative side. So it at least gives you an indication of whether or not they view the product positively or negatively. Sometimes that you may ask yes or no questions that can be answered yes or no. So, for example, do you think this product represents good value for money? You need to have a follow-up on this, because a no on its own isn't going to be very helpful. So do you think this product represents good value for money? Yes or no? They say no. If no, why do you think this? It gives people the opportunity to clarify their answers, and that will give you more information that you can act on. So here's some examples of some questions that you can ask your customers when you are doing product development with them. You could ask, how does your product compare with other products that they might have used in the past? How likely are they to buy or to use this product again in the future? How could you improve this product? What are your brand values? This is really good for making sure that you're on track with your brand. Although this isn't necessarily related to product development, it's always really good whenever you're talking to customers, just to help check and make sure that your brand is where they think your brand is as well. Would they buy this product for a certain amount of money? Do they think this product offers good value for money? What type of person do they think would buy or use your product? There's a whole host of other questions that you could ask to get information, and if you want to bat a few ideas around, then you're welcome to leave messages below, and we can talk this through some more, or pop into the business development event and we can chat it through in there. So when you have your feedback, it's time to look at it and decide what needs action. Is there anything that you have gained from your feedback which means that you have to go back to the drawing board? Has everybody come back and said, oh no, this is an awful product? In that case, it's not very nice to hear, but it's much better to hear it now and to go back and start again, rather than putting yourself up to fail by taking a bad product out there. Is there anything that you need to look at urgently before you are moving forward? It can be tempting to put any negative feedback to one side and ignore it. However, when you're doing product development and when you're talking with your focus group, negative feedback is as valuable, if not more valuable, than positive feedback. And someone telling you during your product development stage that your product just isn't right and that it's just not going to work for your product, for your target market, it's much better to know it rather than carry on blinkered and then sit there wondering why no one is buying your product. Your product focus group will be a great asset to your business and will really help you with your product development and help you create products that sell. So, what's next? When you have your feedback, you have to decide what needs action, what are the negative points. You have to decide whether or not you have a saleable product or whether or not you need to go back and make changes. If you have had to make major changes, you may find that you actually have to repeat this cycle because that you may be changing the nature of the product so much that you need to go back to your customer focus group again and get them to retest or reevaluate the product. It might be that your focus group needs tweaking, and don't be afraid to do this on a regular basis if you're not getting the feedback that you require. A focus group really does have to be a two-way thing, that you asking questions, you're potentially giving products to your focus group, and in return that you need a lot more than them just saying, oh yeah, this is nice. You really need well thought out and actionable feedback, and if you're not getting that, then don't be afraid to tweak your focus group and to keep getting new people in until it's really working for you. And can you turn your focus group into brand ambassadors? So can you actually encourage your focus group to take photos of your products, put it onto social media? Thinking about this in the context of today's presentation, we're talking about developing new products. So your focus group could be absolutely spot on for promoting your new products for you. If you're getting ready for a new product launch, your focus group have the products and they've used them in the test and they've tested them. You could encourage them through vouchers or through something else to promote your products as you come up to launch by putting photos onto social media or doing a review on their blogs or something like that. It could really work well for you. So before I conclude, I just want to say one more thing about feedback. Negative feedback, I know, is sometimes hard to hear. And I've said earlier that it's an important thing for us to hear, and that we mustn't shy away from negative feedback. Negative feedback, when we're getting it on a product that we've put a lot of effort and that we've put our heart and soul into, and someone says, well, I don't think this is a saleable product, it's very demoralizing, but we have to take that one on the chin and look at ways that we can improve it for our target market, or look at ways that we reach out to a different target market if we think it is a saleable product. It will mean going through the testing process again, the product development cycle again, but it could be well worth it. The other thing to remember with feedback is there's a difference between objective and subjective feedback. Objective feedback is feedback which is based on fact. So if I've sold a bar of soap which is 100 grams and the person has received a bar of soap which is 50 grams and they've said as part of their feedback that this soap isn't the right size, that's objective feedback. That's something that is fact and that I need to look at. Subjective feedback is feedback which is based on feelings. So if I have sold 100 grams of lavender soap and that the people testing the soap say they don't like the smell, then this is something that's more subjective. It might be that the person just doesn't like lavender. In that case, I haven't done a very good job with getting my target market here with my focus group. But it might be that the fragrance actually isn't that good. So if you're getting feedback as part of your product testing, which is subjective, then this takes a little bit more consideration on our side, because we need to think whether or not this is a valid piece of feedback, or whether or not this is purely down to one person's personal view. Going back to the example that I gave earlier, if I gave a beautiful hand crocheted lace handkerchief to I don't know, a death metal loving cousin, and he says I'm never going to buy this, that is that's feedback based on the fact that there's a disconnect between the product that I've given and the person that I'm giving it to. But if I've given it to somebody who is the ideal target market and they come back with negative feedback, then this is obviously something that I need to consider. So don't shy away from negative feedback. Embrace it. It's really important. Getting very negative feedback about your products from potential customers will stop you creating bad products or products that just won't sell. It's much, much better for people to tell you what they think, rather than for them all to say, oh, that's nice, dear, and to allow you to go ahead and create a product that's just going to sit in your store and it's going to pull your store down. So in this particular instance, embrace the negative feedback and actually treat it as being an important tool to move your products in your store forward. So to conclude, product development will help you create a product that sells, and it will help you it will help you develop a product that's based on fact, and it is a product that you know there's a market need for. You've done your research, you know it's the right price, right product, right target market, and it's a product that will have the best possible opportunity to sell. And it's not a product that you've sort of created by accident and you've taken it into your store and you hope will sell. A customer focus group will give you valuable feedback and will help you develop your products and see opportunities. Your customers, they know you, they love you. They're raving fans, possibly, as Sarah has said. So why not tap into this energy source and use them to help you create the best possible product you can. A customer focus group really will be worth its weight in gold if you can actually get it up and running and get some really valuable feedback. Use your focus group for research and for product testing. There's numerous ways that you can use your focus group. You can use your focus group to talk about upcoming fashions, colour trends, price points, what type of promotions work, who would they recommend the products to, as well as with product testing. And you can use your customer focus group with every stage of product testing, from when you've had your very first idea to actually doing your final test pre-launch. And of course, can you turn your focus group into brand ambassadors? Hopefully you can, and this is yet another way of getting value from your focus group. Okay, so that's it for today. That's something for you to think about, creating a focus group to help you develop your business in general, but specifically to help you with product development. I think that product development is something that is essential for all businesses. I think that we, as creative people, because we can make things, we are inclined to jump in with the making and put it into a store without actually thinking it through. And I think that a little bit of time spent doing product development research and testing before you take a product line into your store, I think will bear fruit later on, because it will help you produce a more saleable product that you know your market needs. I'm around, obviously, to answer any questions, so just post your questions below and I'll be pleased to answer. Pop into the business development event and you'll find me there as well, so I'll be pleased to answer any questions there too. And if you'd like to work with me on a one-to-one basis about this, or about any other area of your store that I can help you with, then you're always very welcome to send me a message or to pop along to my website. So that's it for now. Thank you very much for bearing with me, and I hope it's been useful. Bye.